Hari Om. Good evening. A very warm welcome to all of you. Please come. Let's invoke the power of prayers together. Asato ma sadgamaya tamaso ma jyotirgamaya Mrityorma amrutam gamaya sahana vavatu sahano bhunaktu sahaviryam karavavahai tejasvina vadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai Shanti 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 Hari Om Tat Sat Shri Chinmaya Sadgurave Namaha. O Lord the Almighty, the Omniscient, the Omnipotent, the Omnipresent, together with utmost Shraddha, Bhakti and Prapatti, we offer our Sashtanga Pranams. We seek your grace, your mercy, your kindness, your benevolence, your affection, your love, your strength, your forgiveness. O Lord, bless us with the divine qualities Shraddha, Bhakti, Jnana, Vairagya, Prapatti and Mumukshutvam in an enhanced manner, only and only to understand thy true self in our very own hearts. Without our grace, this is absolutely not possible. So we seek your blessings and grace again and again to have that first-hand experience aparoksha anubhuti in this lifetime alone. Our humble salutations. We pray that we reach thy holy feet at the end of our lives. Om Tat Sat. With the divine grace of the Almighty and the blessings of the Guru Parampara, today we are on our Divine Discourse number 405, 17th December 2024. Swasti Shri Krodinama Samvatsara Dakshinayana Hemantarutu Margashiramas Krishna Paksha Bhaumavasare Dvitiyatito Punarvasu Nakshatra Brahmanama Yoge Vanijakarane. On this auspicious day of Tuesday and the auspicious time of the evening, we all take an oath, make a firm resolve in our minds. Naham karta hari karta, hari preranaya hari prityartha. All that this jiva is experiencing, be it through an incident, an occasion, an happening, a circumstance, be it through a person, place, or an object, all this is happening, O Lord, at thy will. It's your game plan, which I now truly understand, which is only and only to uplift this life from this ocean of births and deaths. Everything that is happening to me is at your behest and mercy. Having established myself in these thoughts, I accept every aspect with complete surrender, bhakti, and acceptance. I will not question anything for that matter. And that is the way I'll be displaying my bhakti and devotion towards you. Without getting disturbed, anxious, worried, I will lead my life peacefully and with devotion. Om Tat Sat. Our salutations to the Guru Parampara once again. Good evening to all of you. Hari Om. So, today let's try to complete the 6th chapter revision. I will not dwell into too many details, but I'll give you substantial information what is required. Reason is, now the mind has to be prepared for the seed of wisdom to sprout. So we have accumulated lot of wisdom, meaning we have now a bag full of seeds. So now it is where we are going to sow those seeds. We are going to sow in our minds, because that is where the ignorance is. Please understand, mind is something which is not going to give you self-realization. In fact, mind is that which takes you into bondage. But without the mind, we cannot achieve what we need to. So, I'll be taking you through several sayings of great masters one by one, and in multifold manner we'll be listening to what they have said. So that we'll be doing in terms of meditation, where it will be the commentary which I'll be reading, and you'll just grasp that knowledge. And it's going to work. Just allow it to get into your bloodstream, and slowly you'll see how things start changing in your life. The impact is no worries, no anxiety, no disturbance. Come what may. That is one of the true signs of you moving towards realization. Nothing should disturb you. Okay? So I estimate we would need at least 30 minutes. So we have to complete before 7, and then we start a process. Okay. So now, so far, what have we understood? If you take a quick recap up to verse 18, we have studied up to verse 18. So here, verse 1 and 2, glorification of Karma Yoga. Then verse 3, what is the difference between Karma Yoga and Karma Sannyasa Yoga? 4, who is a Yoga Ruda? 5, 6, 7, how to become a Yoga Ruda? 8 and 9, with what kind of a mind one becomes a Siddha? Then from 10 to 15 you have how to practice this dhyana. Then 16, further guidance given on the lifestyle of a yogi. 18, 19, we come to Nirvikalpa Samadhi. So we are exactly at this point. We have completed 18 and now we come to 19. Nirvikalpa Samadhi. Savikalpa. Savi means with. Kalpa means thought. Samadhi means a state of mind. Samyak adhiyate iti samadhi. Mind in a samyak state, in a perfected manner, in a desired manner. So when you place your mind in a desired or a perfect manner, with the thought savikalpa, without thought nirvikalpa. This is the difference between savikalpa and nirvikalpa. So now what causes, here you see in verse 18, what did they tell us? They said like you need that, one has to reach that, a yogi whose mind is under control and who has perfectly placed his mind from the dehakara vritti to the deha matra avasthita, meaning to that niruddha avasthi, be stilled mind. Now this comes by practice. There will be a state which, don't be surprised, you will suddenly see how that there are no thoughts in your mind. You will say, give me thoughts, but no. The deeper mind knows that you are only unnecessarily asking for a thought, but you don't mean to really want a thought. So it will keep you calm. That niruddha avastha, stilled mind. Now how did this happen? What causes this niruddha avastha? They say, Parama Vairagya. Immediately Vairagya means giving up. No. Vairagya is not about giving up of what we have thought in the usual sense. Give up family, give up possessions, give up your job, give up every relationship. No. It is the knowing of what to give up. The true Vairagya, Parama Vairagya, is knowing what to give up. And what is that which is worthy of giving up is the impermanency of this world. Nothing is permanent here. Your so-called dearest one in life, you don't know whether the person is there the next moment. That is that highest level of impermanency of this world. Neither your health is permanent, your energy levels are not permanent, your possessions are not permanent, your near and dear ones are not permanent. So how can a world which is impermanent in nature, give me permanent happiness. So this you're using your Viveka Shakti, and from Viveka Shakti you draw your Vairagya. Yeah. Is it making any sense? It's an impermanent status. Like a person who is not sure about himself, how can you expect something from him? We don't know. He's unreliable. So the same is the world. Highly unreliable. So this is Vairagya. Now, verse 19 he takes to Nirvikalpa Samadhi. Now he compares it to a lamp. Like for a mind which is compared to a lamp, it's in a still place where there is total absence of rajas and tamas, and sattva is in full bloom. So in such a state, that is distilled in Atman, and the light is sattva. So that stillness is absence of rajas. What does rajas do? It drives you, passion, the desire, then mobility, all this is rajas. So stillness, it puts you into, stillness is on the back seat, and you are in that samadhi avastha which is full of light. Okay. Now verse 20, 21, 22 and a half. Okay. Now how this Nirvikalpa Samadhi is attained, and when it is attained, and what are its effects? Bhagavan Shankaracharya, he has, in his commentary, he has beautifully written this with 6 pointers. When stilled by practice of yoga, now that is the first pointer. You have stilled your mind. Now, when this mind is one with the self, now that stilled mind, it becomes one, merges with the true self. And in a state of contentment, once it is stilled with that true self, the mind is stilled with true self, there are no more agitations, no anxiety, no fear. In that state of contentment, now the self revels in that state. This is not rasaswada, meaning that shushupti state, where we're in deep sleep state. There also we have got contentment. But here it is not that. It revels in that knowledge, having stilled the mind, merging with the state of the self. Now that is what we are all now going to practicing towards that. Till now we have heard, but now we are going to put it into practice. Depending on each and every soul, on how much they have done chitta shuddhi and chitta ekagrata, the result will be on those lines. They will be getting result in that same manner. So bliss is of the self and not the thought based. This is what we have to understand. And as there is a beautiful shloka in the Mandukya Upanishad, Tattvam adhyatmikam drishtva Tattvam drishtva tu bhahyata Tattvibhutas tada rama Tattvada prachuto bhavet. It says, seeing that reality, Brahman, that consciousness within, and seeing that reality, Brahman, outside, what it says, you become that reality. See, learning engineering makes you an engineer. Learning medicine makes you a doctor. In the same way, learning about this Paramatatva, Brahman, you become Brahman. So you become that reality. You are that reality. And you find bliss and peace and completeness in that state of realization or reality. And one more thing it promises, Tattvada prachuto bhavet, meaning you will never slip away from that reality. So now how do you do this? Constant practice. Every day in the morning, wee hours, you practice this. That is the deepest state of meditation, where your thoughts, desires, disturbances are at the least, and you establish in that thought. So this is the second what we learnt. Now the third pointer, It says, when this highest bliss is beyond comprehension. Now what we said, first is still the mind. Second is mind is with now in association with the self, and it is reveling in that self. Now when this highest bliss is beyond comprehension of senses, what happens? There are no senses and there is no vritti vyapti. And as a result of no vritti vyapti, there is no phala vyapti also. So this is not a Vishaya Sukha. Vishaya Sukha is I get Sukha from an object, person or a place. There is no Vishaya Sukha over here. It is complete Vritti Vyapti, and as a result there is no Phala Vyapti as well. Now what are these Vritti Vyapti and Phala Vyapti? Just let's understand it. Every thought or a perception which comes to our mind, there is a thought, or we see something, hear something, smell something. So that is a perception in the mind. It is connected to an object it perceives. That's it. That is known as vritti vyapti. So that vritti, thought, it pervasiveness of that thought in your entire mind. Now, how do we give an example for this? Let's say this is a very old example, a pot. So in the mind, when you, what is the vritti? It is of a pot. And what is the object there? Pot itself. You look at a tree. So you have a thought of a tree and the object is the tree. So here, vritti vyapti, it signifies the relationship between the thought and the object of the thought. Now, how are we engrossed in this world? Continuous perceptions of thought and objects. Relation, thought, object, thought, object. This is the, so in this state of mind, there is no vritti vyapti and phala vyapti. So that pervasiveness or that connection between a cause and an effect. Now, if you eat something which doesn't suit your palate or your digestive system, what is the effect? You will have loose motions or vomiting. There is a cause and there is an effect. Sometimes you know also, but still you say, let me try myself. And the cause, you ate it, and then you will also see the effects. So now in the ultimate sense, what they say is, the cause for everything in this entire creation, which science also accepts, astrophysics, Brahman is the cause, and the effect of every aspect in this universe is the world, the manifest world, and the experiences of the jiva. So the cause is the knowledge of Brahman, jnana, and the effect is the realization of one's own true self, which is moksha, phala vyapti. So this way, now we have to understand this vritti vyapti and phala vyapti. So there is nothing, because you have now stilled your mind. You are only reveling in that conjunction of the mind and the self. Now that is in the second stage, and now you have gone beyond the comprehension of what normally happens in your mind. 4. Attaining which, what the scripture says, there is no fall whatsoever. There is no fall at all for such a jiva. 5th one, attaining which one does not think if there is anything higher. Now, which this comes in the 22nd shloka of the same chapter. Yam labdva chaparam labham manyate nadikam tataha. Once you have attained this, there is nothing more. You have gone to the highest level. And there is one more thing which Bhagavan Shankaracharya says, in effect of this practice what you are doing, no sorrow can touch you. See, some, guys are there. Let's say they are very close to the MLA of a particular place. They challenge anybody, you cannot touch me. What is his strength? His strength is that I have power in my hands. So in the same way, no sorrow can touch you. And that is also said, Yasmin sthito na dukkhena gurunapi na vichalyate. See, again and again this is said by the Lord Krishna in the Gita, Yasmin sthito, in this state, na dukkhena gurunapi vichalyate. It will not disturb you a bit, it will not touch you. So, we have to understand the total dissolution of the mind where there is chitta vritti nirodha. Chitta is mind, vritti is thought, nirodha is cessation. As per Patanjali Yoga Sutra. Total withdrawal of mind is that Viruddha Lakshana, that yoga over here. And the Upanishads also promote this. They say, Shokam tarati atmavita. Shokam tarati. Shokam is sorrow. Tarati means he has crossed over. How? With the help of this knowledge of the Atma. So this is the pinnacle of success for any human being. Because we all, you may be a worldly person or a spiritual person, but eventually what do we ask? We ask for peace and happiness. These are the last two things which anybody would ask for. Peace and happiness. Peace and happiness. Of course, if you want to add to it, you will say health, you will say prosperity, all that you will say. But if you are said, ask me one thing, you will say peace and happiness. Or only peace. And how does peace come? When there is happiness. Then only peace will come. You cannot be peaceful by being unhappy. Okay. So one word is peace. And that peace, the Lord says, Shokam tarati atmavita. So this is the effect of this state of mind where the yogi has practiced and is moving ahead. Now 23. Without any doubt or loss of energy, he moves forward. To attain what? Then several other pointers are given here. He is in a state where he never gives room for sankalpa. Sankalpa means thoughts. See, that's what comes now. I should do this. I should get this. I should get rid of this. I should be away from this. This adhyasa, meaning continuous thoughts hitting your mind, he tries to block everything. And then, second, what he does, he drops the sankalpa and kama, that is desire, completely. He takes complete charge. He says, so far you people were making merry. The eyes or the sense organs were looking at the world of objects, and whatever it liked, it was telling the mind, and the mind was instructing the organs of action, and the perception and enjoyment of that particular object was happening. So he says, no, now completely drop sankalpa and kama. And the next one, third. So there is practice of yoga. Yoga means yuj, joining of what? Atma and Paramatma. And he goes step by step. He attains mastery at every level. Indriya Jaya, level at the senses. Jaya means victory. Yes, how do we do that? We all have been practicing. I am not going to eat salt today. Or I am going to be on fast today. There's so nice food being prepared at home, but you have controlled your senses. I am not going to eat. Next comes Manojaya. Mind is under control. Sense is under control. Mind is under control. Then the third one comes Ahankara Jaya. When there are situations where there is praise, you are able to hold on to that. Ahankara Jaya. So in this way, no thought of any external object. Now, in case the mind gets distracted, such a sadhaki uses this Viveka Shakti. And he gets it back in place. It won't take much time. He says, "Hey fool," he'll hit his head once. And he'll say, "What are you doing?" Bring back everything. You have the capacity, but you've just slipped. See, healthy people also while walking, they may slip. Not that they are not able to walk properly. That's a common factor. But no sooner a person has slipped and fallen down, he immediately, with his help of his strength, he musters himself and he gets up. So he has practiced in such a way he attains that absolute sukha, that nirvikalpa samadhi, free of this tamas, rajas and sattva. And he becomes Brahman. That means he becomes bliss himself. So there is no experience of bliss over here. This is a very important aspect which you will have to register in your mind. Triputi, I was telling you. I will again revisit that subject. If you want to go to the ultimate state, there's Triputi. You have to be out of this Triputi. There is no experiencer, no object to be experienced, and there is no experience. So, without the experience of bliss, because he is in bliss itself, he is blissed out, we said. And bliss is non-dual. So, in this way, now the yogi continues his journey. Verse 27 and 28. You all may be a little surprised what I am talking to you here was not told to you in this manner. Of course, it was told to you in a different manner because those are different commentaries. I am giving you different versions so that you are able to understand. There's no point in repeating the same. I am giving a slightly higher version. That was a, you can say, an intermediate or a beginner stage. Now this is an advanced state. Okay. But it conveys the same meaning without loss of any meaning or content. We are doing this. Okay. Now 27-28, there is attainment of Nirvikalpa Samadhi, which we have understood. Only Brahman is there, and what has happened is you have become that. Then come to 29, 30, 31. Here Lord Krishna, he tells about being backed with the knowledge. Now this self is the adhisthana. He says, adhisthana means like you can compare it to a screen. And the world is the adhyasa, which is the movie. So this yogi who worships me, he says, seeing that tatpada is that supreme, in tvam you is a jivan mukta. He will realize that, see, we are all caught in the movie. We don't realize, we don't even care about the screen. But this yogi, he knows that the permanent factor for me seeing the movie is nothing and nothing but the screen. Without the screen, there would have been no movie. So a worldly person just enjoys the movie one after the other, but he does not realize what is that because of which this movie is being experienced or understood. So thot and tvam. So he has realized that the substratum to every experience is that consciousness existence. And the jivan mukta is established in that thought. Even while looking at the movie, he is aware of the screen behind it. So now such a person, he can never give sorrow to anybody. There is complete absence of raga and dvesha. Meaning, I want this, I don't want this. That raga dvesha is not there. He says, whatever comes is the prasada of the Lord. And there is no selfishness, there is no mental block, no vasana, everything vasana kshaya. Then manonasha has also happened, and complete tattva jnana. So Arjuna says, I cannot attain all this because mind is uncontrollable, stubborn and fickle. Now here Lord Krishna in verse 37, he says, yes, Arjuna, what you say is absolutely true. But if we progress, here in 37 he says, if we progress and we do not reach our goal, then what happens? Arjuna asks. So Lord Krishna says, don't worry. In a soul, if that vairagya means that discriminative with the viveka, what he has understood the true nature of the world. If it is not appropriate, then based on the punya which he has accumulated, he will go to higher worlds. And then after a while, when he has exhausted some punya, he will come back. He will be born in noble and wealthy families, and he will again pursue his studies from where he had stopped. Now, if Vairagya is adequate, where there is Viveka and Vairagya, he knows that this world is impermanent, there is no point in this world. So such souls, they are born in, says, poor and highly spiritual oriented families, which are very rare, they say. Such births are like, as we have seen, prodigies, where they are, as they are born, they have that memory of the past and they go on fast track. So they get associated with this knowledge and move forward with that feeling of gusto. They break all fetters and attain self-realization. So such yoga brashtas are protected by me, the Lord says. In these two ways I do that. So therefore, Arjuna, you become a yogi. No point in just being a jnani. Just go on cultivating knowledge. I did this, I did Bhagavad Gita 18 chapters, 18 times, or I've read all the Upanishads. I know this by heart. I know Prakarana Granthas, so many, 24 Prakarana Granthas. That is a jnani. You have knowledge. Perfect. Or you're an ascetic, where you have complete control over your senses, your mind, and you're performing various types of tapas, yajnas, and all these kinds of activities. He says, what is the use? Then you are a karmi, where you are doing homa, havan, yajna, dana, all this you are doing. Even that also does not complete the circuit. So he tells Arjuna, become a yogi, whatever you are doing. Now go to the next level. Don't be doing that and that again and again. Go to the next level, and there what I want you to do is realize yourself. What is your true self? These are all means. Now you cook food in the family, let's say. For the family you cook food. But if nobody is eating, then what is the point of all what you did? Every day you cook and then you throw it down the drain. Does it make any sense? Or you're just keeping it? Your circuit is completed when you have cooked food and people eat that food. So now all this what we have cooked now so far, we have a decent amount of aesthetics in our life. We are karmis to a decent extent. We are also jnanis to a decent extent. Now with that, all the knowledge what we have, now you have to practice that union, yuj, to become a yogi, where the soul and the divine Paramatma is not different. You have to become one with the divine. So that he tells Arjuna, you have to become that. I want you to become a yogi. And the last verse 47, this is actually a seed for the next chapter, where those sadhakas who are dedicated to me, he says, in totality, they are completely surrendered to me, they are the best amongst the sadhakas. He says, you are a true yogi. Now he glorifies bhakti over here. Before going to the next chapter, he says, get ready. If you have that, in bhakti, what do you see? Love, surrender, dedication. These are what are required. If jnana gives you a kind of an arrogance, I know this and nothing can stop me. No, unless and until you have bhakti, unless and until you have that obedience. See, many places, it's very common for everybody. Let's say there are two people, both have the same amount of knowledge. Okay. Now we ask you, whom do you like more amongst those two? A or B? As far as knowledge is concerned, A is equal to B and B is equal to A. But when you will say, I want B. Why is that? Because B is obedient. he is caring, and there is concern in him. So naturally, those qualities, they add to a whatever Jnani also has. He is a Jnani, but he says add to it that bhakti, that dedication, gratitude, seva bhav. In fact, one of I would say what I used to use while I was in business with any client, it could be within the country or it could be from abroad, I would always look for an opportunity to mend myself with his personal life. Like, say, if somebody is unwell in their family, let's say, okay. And now, of course, being from India, they must have migrated to some other country. Being from India, they need some help over here. So whatever service you need to give or associate in terms of business, you keep doing that to the best extent. But then you also are concerned, can I do something for you over here? I can recommend you so-and-so doctor. Then I can help you in getting an admission into so-and-so hospital. It could be something of that kind. Or it could be like, if they want to get some bookings done in India, it could be a vehicle. It's about 35, 40 years back. These taxis were not available here. So I still remember when somebody used to come from abroad, from the airport to come back home, like they used to not get a proper taxi in odd hours especially. So we were of great help. Like their relatives in India used to call us and we used to send our car. So when you go in this manner, it touches your heart. Your knowledge can touch your mind, but if you want to touch your heart, you have to do service. So this way, now Lord says, develop that bhakti in you, that love, care, concern, and dedication. So in this way, now the 6th chapter comes to an end over here. Now we move on to, as I told you, Brahma Jnanavali, which we are all practicing the Anatma Bhava, what we are not. First, to understand your true self, you should know what you are not. So that we have, to a very decent extent, we have understood all that. Now what we'll do is, what we are. So, a Prakarana Grantha written by Bhagavan Shankaracharya, Brahma Jnanavalli. So it tells us in 19 verses, it tells us what is the nature of this Paramatma. Okay. And as I mentioned earlier, after that we get into another astounding Prakarana Grantha by Bhagavan Shankaracharya, which is Aparokshanubhuti. The process to have that self-experience of the divine within us. Okay, so today I'm just preparing your mind now. Have faith, leave it to me. Different times I'll be using different methods and techniques, but do it in a dedicated way if you want to see results. Don't question any of these. And all the more it is advantageous to you because it is being done after practice. I'm not using some new stuff on you and trying to understand how it works. I've already done it on me and seeing, maybe not one, I've tried several. In that which works, that I'm putting forth to you. Okay. So with that faith, confidence, you have to just allow this to get into your stream, bloodstream, and let's see the miracle of the Almighty. Okay. Shri Krishna Paramastu. Om Tat Sat. So we'll now, do the Vishnu Sahasranama, Dhanvantari Mantra, and then we'll go in for a meditation. Verse number 47 and Sahasranama 440. Let's read the verse. अनिर्विण्यस्तविष्टोर्भूर्धर्मयूपो महामकः नक्षत्रनेमि नक्षत्री क्षमः क्षामः समीहनः. Nakshatranemi. The nave of the stars, one who is the nave around which all the stars and the planets, including the sun, the moon, and other planets, always move around. For this brilliant, glowing wheel of light, Sri Narayana is the very axle. Since he is the foundation for all the planets, solar systems, galaxies in motion, he is called Nakshatra Nemihi. So to such a magnificent Lord, we offer our humble salutations and seek his blessings. Now let's chant Dhanvantari Mantra. The foundation of our life and our pursuit to various goals, one needs to have a healthy body and mind. And Lord Dhanvantari is the one who grants us that. Let's pray for his grace. Om Namo Bhagavate Mahasudarshanaya Vasudevaya Dhanvantaraye Amrutakalashahastaya Sarvabhaya Vinashaya Sarvaroga Nivaranaya Trailokya Pataye Trailokya Nidhaye Sri Mahavishnu Swarupa Sri Dhanvantari Swarupa Shri 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 Aushadha Chakra Narayanaya Swaha. Om Namo Bhagavate Mahasudarshanaya Vasudevaya Dhanvantaraye Amrutakalashahastaya Sarvabhaya Vinashaya Sarvaroga Nivaranaya Trailokya Pataye Trailokya Nidhaye Shri Mahavishnu Swarupa Shri Dhanvantari Swarupa Shri 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 Aushadha Chakra Narayanaya Swaha. Om Namo Bhagavate Mahasudarshanaya Vasudevaya Dhanvantaraye Amrutakalashahastaya Sarvabhaya Vinashaya Sarvaroga Nivaranaya Trailokya Pataye Trailokya Nidhaye Shri Mahavishnu Swarupa Shri Dhanvantari Swarupa Shri 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 Aushadha Chakra Narayanaya Swaha. Our humble salutations to Lord Dhanvantari. Come. Now let's move on to today's meditation. So here I would like to introduce you to Nisarga Datta Maharaj. Many of you must have heard about him, a realized soul who was born in Maharashtra in the year 1897, and he was born on Hanuman Jayanti day, so for that reason they named him as Maruti Shivram Pant Kamali. That is his full name. His first name is Maruti. Now his parents were followers of Varkhari Sampradaya. It's a Vaishnavite Bhakti tradition, and so they worship Lord Vithoba. So he belonged to that family. His father was a domestic servant in Mumbai, and initially Maruti. He was brought up in Kundalgaon, a small village in the Sindhudurga district of Maharashtra, with his two brothers and four sisters, and deeply religious parents. Now, what is important over here is, see, now can you see that correlation? Where there is substantial vairagya in a person, how that soul is born to religious parents, poor and religious parents. So it comes under the second category. Now in 1915, his father died. And then he had to come to Mumbai to support his family, along with his elder brother. He worked as a junior clerk at an office, but he was not able to do that job efficiently. And then he opened up a small BD shop. You must have seen the small shop where they have BDs and some toffees and chickies and banana, these kind of things. And soon he was doing well, so he opened about 8 retail shops. This happened in Dharavi, in the slums in Mumbai, they say. Okay. 1924, he married Sumati Bai, and he had 3 daughters and a son. In the year 1933, he was introduced by his friend to a yogi known as Siddharameshwar Maharaj, who was the head of this Inchanagiri branch of the Navnat Sampradaya, they say. He saw Nisarga Maharaj, who was still called as Maruti. He saw and he told him, "You are not what you take yourself to be." So what he had understood, I am Maruti, I am son of so and so, and I have got so many brothers, so many sisters, and now I am married and I have so many children. He says, "You are not what you take yourself to be." Now that gave him, he just said, "Then what should I do?" He said, "Just keep inquiring, just keep thinking to yourself." So he says that Guru ordered me to attend to the sense, I am. I am, that's it. Nothing else. I am meaning I am not a husband, I am not a son, I am not a owner of this BD shop. There is no adjective to this I am. I am. He said, just focus on this. And what Nisargadatta Maharaj says, my Guru telling me, trust me, he says, I tell you, you are divine. Take it as the absolute truth. Your joy is divine. Your suffering is also divine. All comes from God. Remember it always. You are God. You will alone realize this as you progress. And he says, I did believe him, and soon I realized how wonderfully true and accurate were his words. I did not condition my body by thinking I am God, I am wonderful, I am beyond. I simply followed his instruction, which was to focus the mind on that pure being I am, and I stayed in it. He says, I used to sit for hours together with nothing but the I am in my mind, and soon the peace and joy and deep all-embracing love became my normal state. In it all disappeared. What all? Myself, my Guru, the life I lived, the world around me, everything disappeared. Only peace remained and unfathomable silence. So, today what I'll be sharing with you is about who am I? First, let's go to the basics. As we have seen, now imagine what was his background? No different from our background. A proper grahastha who has seen life to the core, who has married, who has got children, who has been facing ups and downs in life, and somewhere with the kripa he got a guru, and guru told him something. Now it is not about the knowledge, it is about you doing that with that knowledge. That is important. See, he believed in his guru, he stuck to what he said, and he started with his understanding who am I, and followed by I am. So we'll first do this understanding of who am I. What all can come under this proper understanding of who am I, and then we'll go to the I am meditation. Okay, so all of you, please be relaxed. Now we may have to devote about, I think we would need half an hour, 25-30 minutes of that kind. So I'll take you step by step. What all he says, these are all his words, and Nisarga Maharaj had a great foreign following. After doing this I am, and then I will take you to one of the meditation excerpts of one of his devotees from abroad. That's also massive. You know how they have grasped what he has said and how they have realized in their life. That is enough for us. We don't have to reinvent the wheel over here. And with what kind of people we are trying to relate our life to? With people who are of our category. Not somebody who is a saint, a sannyasi, who has lived in the Himalayas, left everything. No, they are on a different bandwidth. So we are talking to people who are in our bandwidth, which will make more sense, and it will resonate with our thoughts and beliefs. Okay? So now, after having made yourself comfortable, relax your mind, your forehead, your face, your neck, shoulders, upper body, your complete body. I'll be playing some background music. What you need to do is just keep listening to whatever I'm saying and allow your mind and heart to grasp it. That's all what you have to do. Be in a very relaxed state, but don't go off to sleep. Is this music soft enough? If it's a little louder, please let me know. I'll reduce the volume. It's just to be there at the background, but not to overshadow the words. Yeah, okay. Thank you, Shweta. Now, he does it in different segment wise. So we'll have totally 9 sections over here. We'll go one by one. Looking beyond the illusions of the mind helps us realize our true identity as pure consciousness. This message is timeless and universal. Section 1. Who am I? This simple question is the starting point of Maharaj's teachings. It is not a question of our name, profession, or relationship. It is a deep inquiry into our true nature beyond the superficial layers we often identify with. It is a journey to discover who we really are beneath the roles we play and the masks we wear. Section 2. The mind with its constant chatter obscures our true identity, creating a veil of illusion. We identify with thoughts, emotions, and experiences, mistaking them for our true self. This creates a false sense of self-persona that is far from our true essence. Self-inquiry helps us dismantle this false self, peeling away the layers of illusion. It reveals the truth of our being. It reveals the truth of our being, the pure awareness that lies beneath. This encourages us to ask this question sincerely, with an open heart, to discover this question, who am I? It is not meant to get an answer. The question, who am I, is meant to dissolve the question. By transcending the ego through persistent inquiry, we begin to see through the illusion of the separate self, realizing our oneness with all. Section 3. The illusion of the mind. The mind plays a significant role in our experience of life. It creates our thoughts, beliefs, and perceptions. However, Maharaj cautions us against mistaking the mind for who we truly are. Maharaj compares the mind to a movie projector. Mind projects images on the screen of consciousness. We become lost in the movie, forgetting our true nature as the screen itself. The mind is constantly seeking pleasure and avoiding pain. This creates a cycle of desire and suffering. We become attached to our thoughts and emotions. This attachment keeps us trapped in the illusion of a separate self. This reminds us that we are not our thoughts, but however, we are the awareness that witnesses them. I repeat, this reminds us that we are not our thoughts, but however, we are the awareness that witnesses them. Discovering the true self. Section 4. If we are not our thoughts, emotions or experiences, then who are we? This question has puzzled humanity for centuries, leading many on a quest for deeper understanding. Maharaj, a revered spiritual teacher, points us towards the true self, a concept that transcends the ordinary. It is the awareness that is always present, the silent observer within us that remains unchanged. This awareness is our true nature. The essence of who we are beyond the surface level of our daily lives. It is the background upon which all experiences arise, the canvas on which the colors of life are painted. Maharaj uses the analogy of space to illustrate this profound concept. Just as space is not affected by the objects within it, our true self is not touched by the thoughts and emotions that come and go. It remains pure and untouched. It is the unchanging witness to the ever-changing play of life, the silent spectator of our inner and outer worlds. Maharaj emphasizes that this true self is not something we need to achieve or attain through effort. It is already who we are, the core of our being that we simply need to recognize and remember. The problem is that we have forgotten our true nature, lost in the maze of our thoughts and identities. We have become identified with the mind and its creations, mistaking them for our true self. The journey of self-discovery is about peeling away these layers to reveal the essence within. Section 5, the essence of being. I am that, the essence of being. It is the ultimate truth of our being, a truth that transcends the ordinary and touches the infinite. I am refers to the sense of existence that is always present. The undeniable awareness that we all possess. That points towards the absolute reality. The ground of all being. The source from which everything rises. And to which everything returns. This statement is not meant to be an intellectual understanding. Something to be grasped by the mind alone, but it is a direct experience of our true nature. I repeat once again. I am refers to the sense of existence that is always present in us. The undeniable awareness that we all possess. That points towards the absolute reality, the ground of all being. The source from which everything arises and to which everything returns. This statement is not meant to be an intellectual understanding, something to be grasped by the mind alone, but it is a direct experience of our true nature. A real realization that dawns upon us like a sudden revelation when we realize, I am that. We understand that our true self is one with the universe, interconnected with all that exists. we are not separate from anything, but rather an integral part of the cosmic whole. Maharaj emphasizes that this realization is not a philosophical concept, not merely an idea to be debated or discussed. It is a profound shift in our experience of reality, a transformation that changes the way we perceive ourselves in the world around us. It is the end of seeking and the beginning of true freedom. A state of being where we find peace and fulfillment in the present moment. Section 6. The world as a projection. The world as a projection, a question. If our true nature is pure awareness, then what about the world we experience? According to Maharaj, the world is a projection of the mind. It is like a dream that appears real while we are dreaming. Just as a dream arises from our own mind and consciousness, in the same way the world arises from the same source. The mind creates the illusion of separateness. It divides the world into subject and object, me and the other. Maharaj explains that the world is not an illusion in the sense that it doesn't exist, but it is an illusion because we mistake it for something that it is not. We believe it to be separate from us, when in reality it is a manifestation of our own consciousness. I repeat this. The world is a projection of the mind. It is like a dream that appears real while we are dreaming. Just as a dream arises from our own mind and consciousness, the world arises from the same source. The mind creates the illusion of separateness. It divides the world into subject and object, me and the other. Maharaj explains that the world is not an illusion in the sense that it doesn't exist. It is an illusion because we mistake it for something that it is not. . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . We believe it to be separate from us, when in reality it is a manifestation of our own consciousness. Section 7. Freedom from suffering. Much of human suffering arises from our identification with the mind and its creations. We cling to our desires, aversions, and beliefs. This creates a constant cycle of dissatisfaction and pain. Maharaj teaches that true freedom comes from realizing our true nature as pure awareness. We are no longer attached to the mind and its projections. Thereby, we are no longer bound by suffering. He explains that suffering is not inherent in the nature of reality. It is nothing but a product of our own minds. When we see through the illusion of the separate self, we are liberated from the cycle of suffering. Section 8. The path of self-discovery. The path to realizing our true nature is through self-inquiry. This involves questioning our beliefs, assumptions, and perceptions. It is a process of dismantling the false self and revealing the truth of who we are. Maharaj emphasizes that this is not an intellectual pursuit. It is a deep inner exploration. It requires honesty, courage, and a willingness to let go of everything we think we know. He suggests various practices that can support self-inquiry, such as meditation, mindfulness, and self-observation. These practices help us quieten the mind, and become more aware of our thoughts, emotions, and sensations. Section 9. Living from the true self. Realizing our true nature is not a destination, but a starting point. It is a transformation that affects every aspect of our lives. When we live from the awareness of our true self, our actions become aligned with our true nature. We are no longer motivated by fear, greed, or the need for external validation. Instead, we act from a place of love, compassion, and understanding. Maharaj emphasizes that living from the true self does not mean withdrawing from the world. It means engaging with the world from a place of inner peace and clarity. Om Tat Sat. Observe your mind. And the thoughts in your mind. Become aware that you are a witness to the mind in which the thoughts arise. You are not the mind. Observe your breath. The breath going in and coming out. You are an observer of the breath. Slowly become aware of your body. Where you are seated. Your surroundings. And remember that you are the awareness. I am that. I am not the body. I am not the breath or the pranas. I am not the mind and its thoughts. I am a witness to all these. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Yasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Tat Sat. Shri Chinmaya Sadgurave Namaha. Together we offer today's Gita Jnana Yajna at the lotus feet of the Lord. Naham karta hari preranaya hari prityartam Shri Krishna arpanamastu idam namama. Om Tat Sat. Rub your palm, place them on your eyes. Looking at the floor, slowly raise your head upwards. Good evening once again to all of you. I hope you all enjoyed this meditation, packed with profound insights for leading us towards the truth. So keep practicing this meditation. Every aspect now which we'll be doing will be giving you some profound dimension to your growth. So don't neglect any of them. Please, let's have a holistic approach and achieve what we have in our minds. Thank you. Sri Krishna.